you want to invite to your next slumber party? Jason, Freddy, Michael, or just maybe the Driller Killer?
Sleep shirts with a flair for horror. Rock it out with Freddy, chill out with Jason, and pig out with Michael. Nighty nightmares, add some spanner to your next slumber party.
Announcing Nighty Nightmares sleep shirts, exclusively available at deaditesondeck.com.
Take out the trash. Why? There might be something delicious in all that slop. Put out the air fresheners. Place a clothespin on your nose. Let's dig into the cream of the crop. Celluloid trash. It stinks, but we must watch. Celluloid trash. It stinks, but we must watch.
Howdy, gang, and welcome to yet another Celluloid Trash. And in a little bit, we're going to be talking about Deathbed from 1977. I know there is a 2002 Deathbed, but this ain't the one we're going to be talking about tonight. This one's going to be called, actually, the full title is Deathbed, The Bed That Eats from 1977. And Demon Warp from 1988. And yeah, I can tell you now, these are going to be some wild films to talk about. I know one thing. I wish that, because I don't have my makeup on right now, so I've got some hellacious blemishes right now, and so I wish they would bring back this smoothing your face out thing, because it kind of helped me out in the jam. But anyways, I'm not going to dwell too much on that. Hopefully you guys and gals are listening to me talk about the movies rather than, staring at my ugly mug. So I'm going to get some housekeeping stuff out of the way first, and then we're going to get into these movies. Hopefully, I will be first off, hopefully I will be able to have Chris on for Horror Fandom, It's a Way of Life, talking about horror collecting. Hopefully he can be on here with me. If not, I may go it alone, as I don't want to delay it another week. So going to be talking about horror collecting. So that should be interesting. If anybody else wants to join, if it's me and Chris, if you want to join me and Chris and talk about some horror stuff that you collect, I would love to have you on here. If it's just me and you want to join me for Horror Fandom, It's a Way of Life, talking about horror collecting, I would still love to have you on here. Hopefully, I'll be able to do another cannon fodder, another they're all messed up. And I'm hoping that me and Candace can do a Friday Foolish this Friday, because we had been talking. Hey, the poet, we had been talking back and forth, because there were a fair amount of people that came to my Aussie tribute and trick or treat watch along, and there were several more people that watched it on the replay. But what Candace and I had been talking about is when we do our next Friday Foolish, to kind of have another Aussie tribute. Maybe for those of you that didn't get to join for the last one I did, complete with the watch along, this will be just a tribute, where people can share stories and stuff like that. And me and Candace will share stories. I think Candace actually got to see Ozzy in concert. So that would be something that I know that you guys and gals that never went to a Ozzy concert would like to hear about. Hey, Gory Tiger. Um, Also, for those of you that were in here to see the Nighty Nightmares sleep shirts commercial or promo reel, whatever you want to call it, um, those are available. You can get one right now. You don't have to wait for me to get off my lazy duff and put it on the deadites.com horror shop page. You can simply send, I'm putting my PayPal email address in here. You can send $30 plus $6 shipping, and that's flat rate of $6. It doesn't matter if you buy one sleep shirt or 5 sleep shirts. You still get that flat rate shipping of $6. Okay. And I have the designs that are shown in the promo reel. And I do have an Aussie design too, for those of you that might be interested in that. Just show y'all that. This is the Aussie design, with Aussie holding the pillow that says Aussie came to my slumber party. Keep in mind, folks, that the girls around him are of age girls. I don't want anybody thinking that, there's anything nefarious going on with this graphic, okay? But all of the sleep shirts are $30 plus $6 shipping and handling. The sleep shirts only come in one color. They're pink with gray sleeves. I market them mostly for ladies, but I'm not going to say that you guys might not want one, or you guys might want to buy one for your wife or your girlfriend. And so I don't want to leave anybody out, you know. So even though I market these as a ladies piece of clothing, that's not to say that anybody can't, get one of these. I also have some Spooky Dog and Sebastian meet Ozzy Osbourne shirts. I can probably show y'all that design as well. People probably think, boy, Dana's trying to, pimp herself out here. And maybe, people might see it that way. Oops, wrong thing there. There we go. So I have the Spooky Dog meets Ozzy Osbourne. And also, I have one completed, in case anybody's interested in this one as well. Spooky Dog meets Robert Englund. And I'm going to be making some more. I also did a little animated short where Spooky Dog and Sebastian actually meet an animated Ozzy Osbourne. Um, and a lot of you have watched that. I put it on my shorts on here, um, and or shorts on YouTube, I should say, and my reels on Facebook. I think it's reels on Facebook, but um, it's a short. It's not a really super long thing. So hold on here.
Spooky Dog and Sebastian, meeting all the horror icons from your favorite films. Robert Englund, wow. Kane Hodder, groovy, dude. Bruce Campbell, totally awesome. Spooky Dog and Sebastian, who will they meet today? Let's tune in.
Spooky, look! It's Ozzy Osbourne! Mr. Osbourne! Mr. Osbourne! I'm your biggest fan. I mean, I'm not worthy.
Oh, man, call me Ozzy. You know, I'm just like you and your dog, man.
Sebastian, who is this Ozzy? I don't know him. Do I? I want to know more about him. He seems like a cool dude.
Hey, man, come on over here. I've got a story to tell you. One that may seem like fiction. But, guys, it's all true. Every word.
Robert Englund, wow. Kane Hodder, groovy, dude. Bruce Campbell, totally awesome. Spooky Dog and Sebastian, who will they meet today? Let's tune in and be amazed.
Okay, just wanted to show that again. They're not very long, but I'm just starting out with the animation and stuff like that. Hopefully, I can make some longer ones at some point. Basically, when I get up and built up enough credits um, for the program that I use the animation for. But I hope you guys and gals that have seen it, or if you watched it just now, that you enjoyed it. And my dog's going crazy out there. But the shirts, the Spooky Dog Meets shirts are $20 a piece plus $6 shipping. And again, that doesn't matter if you buy one shirt or you buy 10 shirts. It's still flat rate, $6 shipping. Okay. And again, all you got to do is, and make sure if you order a sleep shirt that you send your name, your mailing address, the size, and with the t-shirts, make sure that you send along, with the money, you send along your name, your mailing address, your t-shirt size, and the color that you want. I can now do all colors. Okay. So if you want a black shirt with Spooky Dog Meets Ozzy Osbourne, or even if you want a black shirt with the Robert Englund one, that is perfectly fine. I will be glad to do that for you. DePoe, you say, how long did it take to animate? Well, I did it in pieces, so I'm trying to think, if you're asking how long the program took, it varies. It can do some things in about a minute or two. Some things take a little bit longer, the longer they are. Of course, the longer each segment is, the more credits I use. So I did an animation a while back that had a John Lennon and Poe mashup where where the John Lennon Poe mashup character was singing happy birthday to me. Um, and it was, I mean, I didn't want to use the actual happy birthday song, so I created a song for that in Make Best Music. And it turned out pretty cool, but it used several hundred credits. I think it may have used like 300 and something credits for me, or to do that, rather, I should say. So, once I got all the different segments together, and I think this one had basically 3 segments, and each one of those segments, I guess, would take, I don't know, let's say 2 minutes. So probably about 6 minutes or so once I got the artwork together. If you add on, doing the artwork, that may have taken me an hour. So maybe an hour and 6 minutes. But again, I'm wanting to make these longer eventually. I don't know if I'll be able to make them like 22 minutes or 30 minutes like a normal cartoon would be. But I'm going to keep working at it. I just hope that people enjoy these little short. I mean, they're literally shorts. They're about 2 minutes and something, 2 to 3 minutes long. But just something to occupy my mind and something that I can put out there that hopefully people enjoy. And then Spooky Dog and Sebastian are going to be meeting some more people upcoming. Let's see. Am I not having any watch-alongs this? No, I should be having some watch-alongs this weekend, and I forgot that I need to close down the voting on that. It was all werewolf movies, so the last time I checked, American Werewolf in London was in the lead, but I'll have to take a look tonight. And of course, that'll be this Saturday, August. Will it be August 9th, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. In fact, for those of you that are in here, I can probably tell you which one won. Let me just look at the poll here. So American Werewolf in London did win out. So I'm going to remove that poll because people haven't really voted on it in a few days anyway. So this is a live stream, so Movie Roulette is in full effect. And how can you play Movie Roulette, you might ask? Well, you can give a $5 or more super chat, and if you do that, you can pick any movie of your choosing for me to watch and do a review on an upcoming episode of Movie Roulette. I'm doing It Follows. I'd love to have another movie to go to talk about along with it. Lake's been really up on these. He comes in every once in a while and gives a generous $7 super chat. Again, thank you, sir, in case you see this again, or you see this on the replay or whatever. So if nobody else, gives us $5 or more super chat, probably in another week or so, I'll probably just go ahead and do a movie roulette for It Follows. And I promise that we're going to get to these movies after I do my little spiel about how you guys can support me in the channel, and it doesn't cost you a dime. I talk about super chats and stuff like that, and I have, you can join my channel You can join the Patreon. You can do all these different things. But there are other ways that you can help support me in the channel, and they don't cost you anything, because I know everybody's not made out of money. So you can subscribe. If you had not already subscribed to the channel and you're enjoying the content I'm putting out, what are you waiting for? What's the holdup? It costs you nothing, folks. Nobody has to know. I'm not going to come to your house and minister to you. I'm not going to try to sell you cookies and candy bars and all that jazz. You can be the only one that knows that you joined. All I look at primarily is the numbers. And I'm almost to 970. I'm 969. I'm hesitant to say that because every time I say something, it seems like somebody says, well, Lottie freaking da. She's talking about she's got this many subscribers. I'll just remove myself. That's what it seems like. I don't know if that's the case, or it's YouTube just screwing around with me. You can hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of the content I'm putting out. Stuff that you particularly enjoy, hit that like button. All of these things help me get up into the algorithms of YouTube. Also, you can share my channel with friends and family members you think might enjoy the content I'm putting out. All of these things, they don't cost you anything. They don't cost the person that you tell about it anything. And it helps me in the channel out. Okay, so now that I've done my little spiel here, we'll go ahead and get started. Now, I had a copy of Deathbed, The Bed That Eats on DVD that got sent to me once upon a time when I was doing the Blood Type fanzine and I was doing written movie reviews. And I think it was Cheesy Flicks that sent me a whole box of free movies. All right. So I think I ended up giving that to Steve, and I don't know where on his shelf back there it is. So technically, I don't have a physical copy in my little hand for either one of these. But I do have images to share. Okay. So here we go. This is probably a DVD cover for Deathbed, The Bed That Eats from 1977. And oh boy, folks. I had watched this many, many moons ago. And I didn't remember a thing about it except that the bed ate people. All right. So you have this bed in this gothic looking house. All right. And about halfway through the film, the house disappears and the bed shows up in a little, looks like a secondary house, to the main house. But the big house has disappeared. And I'm like, what the heck? Did I miss something? So apparently this demon, I guess, sacrificed a girl, and they show her in her tomb or whatever, and they show him just as red eyes, basically. Real original, right? It's a demon, so we got red eyes. But we also have an artist who died of consumption, and for some reason, the demon wants to keep him alive, and he's trapped behind one of his own paintings in the house. Okay. So everybody that ends up coming into the house and then comes into the secondary house and lies on the bed for any length of time will get eaten by the bed. And when they're about to be eaten, some yellow foamy stuff bubbles up from the bed and sucks the person down into the bed, and you see them in all this yellow liquid, and basically it takes the skin right off of their body, right? And things like, if somebody was eating and there were forks and spoons, or maybe there were some shoes or something, they drop out of the bed and just land on the floor. So you have a couple who comes upon the house and they want to go into the house to make out. And they don't even think it's weird. Like the man says, I must have done something wrong. This tells you how crazy the dialogue is. So they bring a bucket of chicken, and no, it's not KFC chicken. They bring a bucket of chicken and some fruit and a bottle of wine and all that stuff. And they have that laying on the bed beside them. And at some point they decide they're going to eat. Well, the bed has already ate the chicken, drank the wine, ate the fruit, and sent the chicken bucket and the core of the apple and an empty wine bottle back up on top of the bed. And like I said, all the man has to say is, I guess I must have done something wrong. It's like, what could you have possibly done to make this happen? So then they get eaten. And then these three women come up they come to find the house. At this point, the house disappears, and there's a secondary house, and the bed is in there. So they go in there, and slowly, one at a time, two of the girls get consumed by the bed. And then the other girl, her brother comes looking for her because she's a habitual runaway. And their mother sends him after her. And he loses his hands in the deal. And the dead girl that the demon sacrificed comes back to life and yada, yada, yada. Crazy ass film, folks. I ain't even gonna lie. And it's not one that I really want to go watch again anytime soon. It was fun to laugh at it and laugh at how bad it was. This one is indeed celluloid trash, folks. I'm gonna give I'll give a rating on it, but folks, I'm being generous by giving 3 deadites out of 5. But that's all I can give Deathbed, The Bed That Eats from 1977. All right. So the next one is Demon Warp. And Demon Warp, believe it or not, has George Kennedy in it. And it's directed by Emmett Alston, who did New Year's Evil, which, if I had to compare New Year's Evil with Demon Warp, I would definitely have to say that New Year's Evil, for me, is a better film. But this one is certainly entertaining because we start out with George Kennedy's character and the woman that's playing his daughter. And they have rented this house that we find out is another character that shows up. I think if I'm remembering correctly, it's Jack. And his Uncle Clem has been renting this house out to different people to make a little extra money. So George Kennedy and his daughter in the film have rented this place, and they're just having a nice conversation, talking to each other. And all of a sudden, this thing that looks like a gigantic monkey busts in and kills George Kennedy's daughter. And then sometime after that, Jack and his girlfriend and his buddies and one of his buddies' girlfriends head up to Uncle Clem's place. But he doesn't tell the others until his girlfriend practically maces him. The reason they're going up there is to find his Uncle Clem, because his Uncle Clem has disappeared. And for the longest time throughout this movie, I could not figure out why it was called Demon Warp. Because all I saw was this gigantic monkey creature that was throwing people around and doing all these bad things to people, breaking people's necks and stuff. Oh, and by the way, Billy Jacoby is on this too as one of Jack's friends. Um, so uh, you don't really see why this is called Demon Warp till more towards the end, after a lot of Jack's friends have either gotten killed or gotten carried off uh, by this creature. Um, and I don't want to give it all away because there's some twists and turns along the way. Oh, and by the way, Michelle Bauer is in this. And Michelle Bauer, yes, she gets naked, folks. So you guys that are big fans of Michelle Bauer, you can get to see her, as Joe Bob would say, her two enormous talents in this film. Um, and I mean, what else can I say about it? It was fun to watch. It was goofy, good fun. I had more fun with it than I did um, Deathbed, because this was just completely out there and outrageous. And, it was one of those typical, not a slasher, but maybe some kind of supernatural, like, uh, horror movie. Um, the poet, you say, who wins in a fight, Deathbed or the creature from Demon Warp? I would probably say the creature from Demon Warp. I would probably have to say that, because not only you would probably have to say creatures from Demon Warp, because not only do you have the giant monkey creature that's running around breaking people's necks and beating their heads against rocks and killing them all over the place, but you also have a demon, and you have a sadistic priest who is trying to help this demon, and you have people that have gotten turned into these creatures that kind of look like demons. So, if you were to combine the giant monkey, and these little weird little people that have been mutated running around, they could probably take on the Deathbed. I would imagine they would. And probably even the gigantic monkey could take on the Deathbed, to be totally honest. But not much else I can tell you about this movie, just that, for a little time waster, it works. It works on those levels. Don't expect it to be the Citizen Kane of horror movies, though. Okay? Don't expect a lot from it, and you won't be disappointed, right? And both of these films are available right now on YouTube. Deathbed, The Bed That Eats, and Demon Warp. You can both watch them on YouTube. And I'm going to also go ahead and give my rating for Demon Warp, which is 4 deadites out of 5. So this one gets more deadites than Deathbed does. This was the top one for me tonight for Celluloid Trash. All right, so I guess that is all from me, folks, for this evening. Like I always say, I don't plan for these to be super, super long, just mainly getting on here and talking about a couple of movies. The next movies that I will be covering for Celluloid Trash next week should be Devilfish from 1984 and Evil Altar from 1988. And Devilfish is directed by Lamberto Bava, folks. And Evil Altar is directed by James Winburn. See you later, Gory Tiger. Thanks for stopping by. But as always, I want to remind you guys and gals, I'm off like a dirty shirt. This shirt ain't dirty, but I'm off like one. And I want to remind everybody, as I always do before I get off of here for the evening, to be kind to one another and blaze that trail. Have a fantastic rest of your Monday night, folks. And I'll see everybody next time.